Howdy, 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 my darling Sagittarius. How are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca, and today, Saggy, I'm going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading for March 2023, darling. If you enjoy this tarot reading, check out your sun, moon, and your rising sign. Sagittarius, that's how you get the best understanding when it comes to your life, is by catering these general tarot readings on YouTube to your chart, your astrological chart. And do not get scammed, my darling Sagittarius. Beware of fake accounts that are pretending to be me. Remember, I only do my tarot readings, private readings, on my website, simplyvelca.com, darling. So let's get into this tarot reading. I have your Celtic cross already displayed out here, Sagittarius, and I love what I see here. All right. Let's get right into this tarot reading here, starting with your overall energy being the Ten of Pentacles. Fabulous, darling. All right, this is exactly what you want to be seeing, Sagittarius, when it comes to your readings. All right, having that Ten of Pentacles, things are stabilizing in your life here, Sagittarius. I feel like this is going to be a week of where whatever you have been investing your time and energy into, some of you guys already made like a plan, I hear, Sagittarius, in your life, where it's just like you made like a game plan or like a vision board, perhaps, Sagittarius, of like what you want to accomplish in this lifetime or what you want to manifest currently here. It's like you've identified, Sagittarius, what you want to create or what you want to chase after. And by identifying it, it's like your spiritual team is telling you, just like, all right, you're actively growing roots. You're actively going after this 10 of Pentacles. This is actually starting to become into reality in your life here. All right, your financial situation, I feel like, is greatly improving here. All right, I see, and when it comes to your emotional health, there's a lot of cups cards when it comes to your Celtic cross as well. I feel like for you, you're going to be starting to becoming a lot more fulfilled, especially for my Sagittariuses who are currently waiting for a sign. You have recently asked your spiritual team for a sign, maybe in something in specific, or you know, could just be just like what have you, where you're just like, give me a sign. You may not have even vocalized it, but you're going to be getting a very strong sense of direction after this week here, Sagittarius, of like what you need to be doing next. All right. I feel like when it comes to your emotions, you're going to be greatly fulfilled here. I feel like for you, you're going to be really getting solidified and confirming like how you're perceiving certain people, how you're feeling about certain people as well. I feel like your intuition was right, Sagittarius, about certain people. Like you have an understanding of how people are in your life currently, and you've been waiting for them to either prove you wrong or prove you right. I feel like they prove you right. And I feel like your relationships that you actually feel good about are going to be continuously improving. If you are in a relationship currently, I feel as if you guys might be taking steps in your current relationship to take things to the next level. This is not me saying that all of you guys are going to be getting engaged or married. It could be in a sense of where you guys start taking action in your romantic relationship or even friendships or what have you, or business, Sagittarius, taking things to the next level, where it's like maybe moving in together, maybe starting a business plan together. Something is just really continuously solidifying what it is that you already have started with that situation. Does that make sense here, Sagittarius? A lot of things are speeding up in your life. A lot of manifestations are coming into the physical world around you here. Let's get into your tarot reading. Starting in your current situation here is the Four of Swords. So Sagittarius, right now for you, like I talk a big game about what is being created in your life, what is happening here. But for you currently, you're just like, all right, Velka, like it sounds kind of good, but I've been in this resting period. Or you have been in this resting period. Some of you shorter than others. Some of y'all's resting period has been like a week off. Some of you has been a year off. All right. I do feel like it's how this is coming to be, is where it's just like your story right now, Sagittarius, is where you have your resting period, however long that is, however long you need to take, darling. You know yourself better. But your storyline is going to be going from being in this place of healing, resting, for whatever your reasonings is, that's your personal business, to your challenge position, which is the Queen of Swords. So your challenge currently is, Sagittarius, is knowing when to come up for air, knowing when to stop the taking a break. So what I want to be suggesting for you right now, Sagittarius, is that you have like this anxiety when it comes to being too close-minded or being too harsh when it comes to things. But again, I feel like it's really important for you to understand, Sagittarius, that you have nothing to prove. You know, I feel like you're really trying to be like a good person, and in order for you to feel like you're being a good person, it's like you're almost trying to prove to yourself you can be a good person by being the bigger person in a situation. And I'm not here to tell you to be petty or to not be petty, Sagittarius. Again, your business. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, darling. I don't care like that. But what I can be telling you is that you are you are the bigger person regardless. How you are seeing a situation, how you see somebody, it's like you see them for how they are. And you can choose to handle it accordingly. You can choose to not do anything and be the bigger person if that makes you feel better about what it is that you're doing. Or you can acknowledge this, just like, you know what? I don't like this person. I know I'm more mature than this person. What, you know, maybe for example, you caught onto like a family member talking some mess. And it's just like, you know what? That family member's crap. I know they're talking mess about me. I could make the choice in being the better person, not acknowledge them. You are. Or you can make the choice in being petty, calling him out, what have you. All right. Either way, whatever choice you end up making, sure, one of those things is going to more than likely make you get called a bitch. But either way, I just want to really validate you, Sagittarius, and letting you know that it's like, hey, like whatever choice you make doesn't make you like a lesser person, I guess. Obviously, unless you hurt them, girl. But we're adults here. I'm sure you understand already. Your current focus right now is that Three of Cups. So you're currently looking for a sign for your from your spiritual team to show to you. All right. The only thing I want to be saying to you right now, Sagittarius, if you tap over and pull up my screen here, if you look at this person, this is you sitting under the tree, eyes crossed, arms closed, due to these three empty cups here, really representing that you're closed off to your closed off currently due to your current situation, which is underwhelming to you. And because of that, you don't see the spiritual hand, your spiritual team trying to hand this cup to you, an opportunity, something for you to be considering. And so, again, when you look at this Four of Swords, Queen of Swords energy here, the only things I'm worried about with you is that on your healing journey, you don't know when to like stop, I guess, and know when it's time to get back up and keep looking. Don't be too cynical, but also understand, Sagittarius, that you don't have to prove anything to yourself because you know yourself already. Does that make sense? All right. And I also want to be telling you to be open. That's really the best thing I can really be saying to you is like, be open. If you don't want to like call somebody out, for example, or acknowledge a problem because you feel like it'll just cause drama, be open to it actually potentially causing some growth. Obviously, you have to approach it differently. You can't just be petty to someone and slap them across the face and expect them to want to grow or like hear you out. But it's like, you don't know how things could turn to be. In your recent past, you have the Knight of Pentacles. And so I feel like the reason why you're so dismissive is because what you're dealing with beforehand was just very slow. And I feel like you're at a point right now in your life of where you want everything faster paced. It's like you're ready to live life. You understand what it is that you want. You understand where it is on some level of like the destination that you want to be. But right now you're searching for your spiritual team to leave a sign for you to go into something, but you're unable to see that sign currently because of that Queen of Swords dynamic, because you could be either too small-minded currently, you need to expand what you think is actually possible for you, or there's like something in the healing journey that gets you caught up. And so because you're caught up in that lesson, you're unable to go forward. So there's something, some type of lesson that you need to come to terms and understand with some type of social thing in your life. Possibilities for you is the Judgment card. So your spiritual team is actively around you currently, Sagittarius, and I'm sure you already feel it as well. I feel like you're very in tune with your spiritual team, and the type of relationship that they have with you is that they can make magic happen. That's ultimately like what I would be saying with this is like they can make magic happen, and they're actively trying to guide you. Like your spiritual team is very present in your life of leaving breadcrumbs of like what you should be doing, what you should be following. But it's almost as if you tell yourself where it's like, oh, that's not realistic, so you don't even consider it. Or again, some of you, and it could be just a small group of you, you're so stuck on like a situation and accepting it for what it is, and accepting that you see it for what it is. Because if you accept that you see it for what it is, then it ends up perhaps being disappointing. So it's like, you think you see red flags in a person, you're just like, oh, is this person good for me anymore? In your deepest of cores, you know they're not good for you. But if they're not good for you, then that means you have to walk away from them, right? And I feel like that's what's going to happen here with that 8 of Cups in your near future. You're moving on from something that isn't fulfilling to you anymore, which is a positive sign though. Because remember, with this 4 of Cups here, you needed this change. You needed to leave your situation here, these 8 cups, because they were not full for you. You were displeased with several of those cups being empty. So you had to move on. Consider new horizons, consider new possibilities for you. I really feel like for you, Leo, you're meant to be doing something drastically different than what you're currently doing. Like, I feel like how you make your money now is not how you're meant to be making your money like a year from now or the rest of your life. In your power position, you have the Temperance card, which is quite literally your card. So it's really interesting to see your card, your major arcana card being in your power position. Temperance. You know, patient on some levels, but I feel like in this case here, Sagittarius, you are too patient with things that you already know the outcome to. Does that make sense? I feel like you're too patient with things you already know the outcome to. And it's almost like you wait for things to develop further before you feel comfortable and being like, okay, I was right about this. You're very intuitive. You're probably a really good test taker. Or like you're really good at guessing. The King of Cups represents maturity, things being refined, controlling your emotions. I feel like for you right now, Sagittarius, it's really important for you to understand that, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you've been gaslit in the past, maybe you've been gaslighting yourself, Sagittarius, but for some reason, I just keep on feeling the need to like reinforce this idea that your perspective is the truth. How you see things is how it actually is. In your hopes and fears, you have the 4 of Cups. Or not the 4 of Cups, darling. You have the 6 of Cups. Now, the 6 of Cups represents someone from you. Could represent something from your past, but it also can represent a gift. All right? Due to this dynamic of these 2 cards here, I almost feel as if this reads off as where it's like someone coming back. It's like you call someone out on their mess. You call someone out for being two-faced. You call someone out for the way that they're behaving. And I feel as if it may not be immediate. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be immediate. That's just human emotions. But it's like, what I feel like is going to happen in your life, Sagittarius, is that you call somebody out. Could be a family member, could be a friend that's being a bad friend. Could be, you know, I feel like you call out a problem with some type of relationship in your life. And you know, humans be humans, the initial reactions, what have you. But this gives me like a vibe where it's like you call them out, humans do their thing for however long, maybe a couple weeks. But I feel like they actively self-reflect because they respect you, Sagittarius. They respect your perspective, and that might be why some of them might react strongly if you call them out, Sagittarius, because it's someone that they respect so much, criticizing them, which doesn't feel good, you know? And so give them grace in being human, because this shows to me that if you do call them out, they will definitely be willing to change. I feel like they definitely will self-reflect and come back with remorse. All right. And then your outcome, your potential future, is the Chariot, or rather just your straight up future here if you choose to follow these steps. The Chariot, things manifesting at a very rapid pace through action. So ultimately here, Sagittarius, you kind of have to be willing to decide what you're going to pull the lever on. I feel like whatever you choose to take action on, things will develop rapidly. So if you choose to take action on handling a certain social relationship in your life, things will progress very rapidly. In a normal sense, it may take a long time for certain relationships to develop or people to get over themselves. But I feel like in your life right now, as long as you come from your sense of power where you understand where you're coming from and you have no doubt, no insecurity about where it is you're coming from, understanding that you're not like, people can consider you a bitch, but you're not coming from a place of trying to be a bitch. You're just setting boundaries. You have standards. People learn quickly. Things manifest fast for you. So let's get into your oracle reading now, Sagittarius. All right, enough of all this here. So much here to think about, but we're going to get into your animal oracle cards here. Starting with your numerology being the number 5, which is the Hierophant, represented by the Hierophant, but look up the number 5 in numerology, see what messages that has for you this week. But the Hawk Spirit says, let Spirit be your guide. Let Spirit be your guide right now, Sagittarius. Like, trusting in them, you know, trusting your spiritual team guiding you right now. There's a lot of things where it's just like going into a lot of uncharted territories, I feel like is where your life is going right now, where it's like, not you personally, but I feel like there's a lot of unstable things, unstable landmines that you're having to dance around. And your spirit guides are actively trying to guide you or direct you to avoid those landmines. Your moon oracle card is your new moon. Luck is on your side. Trust in them. They're trying to take you on the good side of things here. And then Sagittarius, your final oracle card is the Cardinal. The polarities of your spiritual pursuits, y'all are being called out, darling. The spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance, so do whatever you need to do to bring it back to equilibrium. So you're really being called out on a spiritual level here, Sagittarius. The reason why you have so much self-doubt is because you need to connect to your higher self a little bit more. You know, the deeper the connection that you have with your spiritual team, with yourself, the more confidence you have with whatever it is that you're doing. So I feel like if you are having anxiety, if you're having stress or insecurities, that's a sign for you to go inward. That's a sign for you to connect to your spiritual team. Some of you guys have like a spirit guide actively trying to get you to connect with them. Some of you, it's been a moment since you last made offerings to your ancestors, but I digress. Anyways, that's the weekly tarot reading that I have for you. In the link down below, aside from all my stuff, I have a link to my friend Minnow Pond Tarot, to his newsletter, spiritual newsletter. I would love for you to check it out. It's free spiritual content for you to check out. He's posting a lot of stuff that really will help transform your life. So anyways, I love you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, darlings.